it's also the 21st. Just about 1 o'clock, maybe a minute before 1 o'clock. And I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope everyone's having a good Sunday. I'm having an excellent Sunday. Maybe.
Okay, you're
Sorry.
deep in the jungle,
My
hanging with a friendly
I brought my
jaguar.
desktop up so I
Or
could read the live stream a little bit better. And my cat is coming in here to say hello. Man, the day doesn't get much better than when you start with the a thankfulness prayer. Simply saying thank you. I say it 3 times. I don't know why. I learned to say it 3 times. That I first read, man, ages and ages and ages ago, of Meister Eckhart, the 12th century Christian mystic, who said if the only prayer we ever said was thank you, that would be enough. Let me bring that up real quick. I think I'm going to do a lot of Googling today. Maybe. We'll see how the conversation goes. We'll see if anyone shows up. I got a lot on my mind. I got a lot on my mind about yoga, about meditation, which really I should just say yoga, because you can't separate yoga from meditation. It's a seamless path. Yep, if the only prayer you ever said, the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough. I don't know when I first read that, probably in the early 90s or so. And I decided to make it a practice. And it was just that. It was a practice. I had to remind myself every morning. I forgot some mornings. And then I found through the years, and most recently the past few years, maybe 4 years or so, most especially when I made that commitment to get up well before sunrise, that it was coming to my lips unbidden by any prompt, that it was just there. It was the thank you, sincere, no longer practice, but a sincere, spontaneous, man, thank you for today. The fact that I don't have to do a single thing for this day to be possible. I don't have to wake the sun, urge it to get up. I don't have to remind the sky to provide me air to take a breath. I don't have to do a single thing. The entire universe has been provided for me. If I can't be thankful for that, I'm never going to be thankful for anything. And gratitude might be the shortcut, the direct path towards direct realization, towards enlightenment. That forgiveness, they all lead together. This is a lot of stuff that's on my mind as I'm pondering a young friend who wanted to give me some advice on how to live my life, and that if I discovered Jesus, everything would be okay. That's not bad advice. However, what they actually meant was if I discovered Jesus how they wanted me to, if I discovered their version of Jesus, the one that that person inherited from church, clergy, parents, media, that's not Jesus. That's not God. That's a version. Brings me back to the Tao Te Ching. The Tao that can be told is not the true Tao. The Jesus that can be described is not really Jesus. It's your version of Jesus. Jesus does not reside in a church, in a book, nowhere else but your heart, which Jesus himself pointed to when he said, the kingdom of heaven is within. Don't look over there. Don't look over there. The kingdom of heaven is within. Which brings me to yoga and meditation, because yoga takes you directly there. You can't realize the kingdom of heaven. You can't realize Krishna consciousness, Christ consciousness, if you're caught up in mind stuff. The beginning of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras says that yoga is the ceasing of the fluctuation of the mind, the fluxation of the mind, that we are getting still, we're getting quiet. When we get still and quiet, we see we are not the mental chatter that's going on. We are not our attachments, our aversions. We're not our fear. We're not our belief that we are a limited, separate identity and ego. And we are not our fear of death. We're pure spirit. We're awareness. And when you see that, then you realize what Jesus was saying. The kingdom of heaven is right here, right now. Let's see. Louise says hello. Hello, my friend. And Della says hello. Hello to you, my friend. And Danielle says hello. Hello to all my friends. Danielle says, I'm Dutch. I don't know what that means. I hope that's good. I hope that you're happy that you're Dutch. And if it's not good, then I hope you can fix it. William says, I wouldn't say I can't, but to live tomorrow, unfortunately, need to work today. I want to find an enjoyable career instead of being an NPC. I don't know what NPC is. People are free to live however they want. I just won't sign. I understand, but I don't know if I understand fully, William. But, you know, as always, we got at least an hour to talk about things. So, hey, unpack it. Let's talk about it. Mir says, hey, Sir Yogi, and beautiful people there. Hello, my good friend Mir. Our friend Paul from Oregon. Man, it has been a long time, Paul. Thanks for stopping by. You know what? I was talking about you yesterday. The Burpee Reaper, it is what it is. Lewis and I were talking about when I first started going live, and we'd have 4 or 5 people, and we were talking an awful lot about burpees and weird stuff, as if burpees aren't weird enough. As if somebody devoting, 45 minutes of his life down in his basement, half naked, doing burpees in front of a camera isn't weird enough. We would talk about even weirder stuff. Hope all is well with you, Paul. I know you said air quality is getting bad there in Oregon. Never easy. This time of year is never easy for you. Samir says, guys, double tap that screen for a thumbs up. Thank you for that. William says, if you're new, Eric Yogi goes live 3 times a day. Man, I go live an awful lot, don't I? We talk a lot about love and uncovering the blinders in place. We start most mornings reading an interpretation from Dr. Wayne Dyer of the Tao Te Ching, 51 days today, of 80-something, of 81. Thank you for that, William. Man, you summed things up perfectly. You did that again last night when someone says, what's this about? And you just nailed it. Talk about love. We talk about the contents of love as well, meaning the things that we love, as well as the overriding principle of love itself. And removing the blinders, which is, again, the entirety of the path of yoga. This is why yoga and Christianity go together perfectly, if you allow it. This is why yoga and, I don't want to say Buddhism, because Buddhism has the same concept. Buddhism is an offset of yoga itself. They veer off on some places, but I'm not so sure places that make them inseparable. Let's see. Paul from Oregon says, I'm just thinking of Twister now. In what way in particular? Absolutely love Tolstoy. He was a true mystic in the most mystical sense of all. Mir says, hey to William. Hey William, I missed it. What song did you pick for Burpee Reaper? Paul from Oregon says, laughing out loud, turtles all the way down. Exactly, 100%. Poor Man Jim says, howdy Yogi. Poor man, how are you? Hey, are you guys subscribed to Paul from Oregon? Legendary Paul from Oregon. Old school Paul from Oregon. Rocking chair Paul from Oregon. Crazy drummer Paul from Oregon. I got a list. I can keep going on. Our friend Squirrel Sniper is here, says, greeting beautiful souls from across the pond, but under the same skies. I bet you Squirrel Sniper has some thoughts on the difference between mystical Christianity and modern day Christianity. Was it the Council of Nicene? Am I saying that right? That laid out the modern path of Christianity, the beginning of it, cutting out a lot of the mystical traditions, cutting out reincarnation, which was an accepted doctrine at one point. William says, well, if you dream of working with wood and you live in a desert, but 20 miles away, you can go to work on the coast and work with trees, kind of examples. It can exist and make it work anywhere. So we talk about this fairly often. William, 100%, what do you want to do? Can you draw it out on can you make a plan? Can you say, this is my ultimate goal? And this is how I'm going to get there. Knowing that any path is going to zigzag doesn't mean just because you're zigging or just because you're zagging doesn't mean you're not heading towards that goal. It just means that you're taking a circumference, did I say that right? Path? Alana Lee, Vijay, did I say that right? It says, my name is Alana. Hello, Alana, how are you? Squirrel Sniffer says, greetings to Alana and welcome. Paul says, he said the kingdom of God is within. And I said, and so I said straight to Tolstoy. It makes sense to go straight to a mystic. I go quite a bit lately to Meister Eckhart. St. Catherine of Siena, he said, all the way to heaven is heaven. Absolutely love that. Lana says, how are you doing today? How are you doing? I'm doing good. How are you? I was starting to say, every morning, this is how I started the whole live stream. Every morning I wake up and I say thank you 3 times. This is referring back to Meister Eckhart. He said, if the only prayer we ever say is thank you, that would be enough. And it's literally true. Paul Morgan says, much love, Eric. Thank you, brother. You're welcome. Again, guys, you definitely have to subscribe to Paul Morgan. Some of my best live stream conversations have been with Paul Morgan. Some of Mocha's best YouTube conversations have been with Paul Morgan. Lana says she is 5 months pregnant. Congratulations, my friend. Lana says, answer me. What would you like me to answer you? William says hello to Alana and Squirrel. So best wishes for you, Alana. For you and your baby. William says hello, Paul. And Squirrel Sniper is saying hi to William. Our friend Mir says, best wishes for your baby, Alana. Thank you for that, Mir. Mir, I saw you mention over at Burpee Reapers that you're going to shoot to hit that 1K. Sniper says, congratulations, Alana. You're welcome, my friend. Tolstoy wrote a book called The Kingdom of God is Within You. I can't recommend it enough. I will look for that. I'm going to Google it up. Or Amazon it up. How did we get so confused, Paul? Squirrel Sniper, Mir, Alana, William, how did we get so confused when we were giving implicit directions on where to find the kingdom of God? And we immediately said, well, I should put up a building so that people can come visit this building and find the kingdom of God here. And then people filled up the building. and someone else says, you know what, I got a better idea. I'm going to build a building over here. This is really where you're going to find the kingdom of God. If you do everything that I say, and if you do it right, then you're going to find it. How do we take the actual words of Jesus? The kingdom of heaven is within. Don't look over there. Don't look over there. How did we go from a guy who would spend days on end in the wilderness to commune with God? How did we go from the Beatitudes, Sermon of the Mount, to boiling down the Ten Commandments to two essential? How did we go from someone hanging from a cross who looked upon people who tortured him, put him on the cross, and he looked and he saw only their innocence, and he said, forgive them, Father, they know not what they do, which is a true yogic psychology. They were caught up in the mind stuff. They were caught up in what's called the kleshas, the 5 afflictions of the mind. They didn't know what they were doing. They were caught up in their belief system. They were caught up in their thoughts. They were caught up in their fear. They weren't their true, authentic selves. And Jesus saw that and he said, hey, Father, they're not their authentic selves. Forgive them. He saw their innocence and they were forgiven. How did we get from there to here? Someone's got to have an answer. Mir says, yes, I tried today. Now I start, sir. Absolutely awesome. I hope our friend Burpee Reaper pops in. William says, I am willing to work towards my dream. Absolutely. It isn't going to be easy in the slightest, and the world feels at odds with my desire to prevent it. I am perplexed, and there's a lot of, let me skip down, supposedly now even being misunderstood. Kind of tired of everyone pretending to have the answer. I know my heart. I won't act in violence towards another and wish to help others. Perfect. Let's start with that. Let me get caught up in the chat, and then we're going to bring up Patanjali. Patanjali, who wrote the Yoga Sutra, who helps give a blueprint. How do we achieve that which seems impossible to achieve? First off, we realize it's not an achievement. An achievement is gaining something that is separate from us. And William, what you're talking about is an extension of who you are. And you get there by loving your way there. You get there by forgiving your way there. Lana says, I'm going to name it Michelle. Beautiful name. Awesome. Hey, Alana, I appreciate you coming here and sharing that. Paul said, government got involved. That's how. Yeah, sadly, you're absolutely right. But even before government, well, yeah, I'm thinking modern government, but when you start thinking kingdom, government. Paul from Oregon nails it. Mir says, Michelle, beautiful name. It is, absolutely. Alana says, do you want to be the uncle on YouTube? I could be the weird, grouchy YouTube uncle. I think I could do that. Mir says, Alana, congrats. William says, oh, I've read that. Squirrel Sniper says, the 2 temples are on either side of the forehead. Are we talking the ears? William says, I don't need to be reminded all the ways I don't meet their measurements. I no longer care about making them happy by feeling I need to meet a criterion for them to be happy as they won't. I admittedly missed that. One thing, don't, well, I don't want to say don't. Who am I to say don't? My suggestion, love the people that seem negative. Forgive the people that seem negative. They're there to give you strength, whether they know it or not, whether you know it or not. When you're holding any negative thoughts towards anyone, I'm going to prove you wrong, I'm going to do this in spite, then you're not acting with creative, inspired energy. And what you need is that inspiration. You need that inspiration. So you're guarding yourself. You're guarding your heart. You're guarding your thoughts. Not for the sake of, you know, this thought is better than another thought. It's not about that. It is about the energy that you're able to work with. And you want to work with the highest energy. Let me bring up Patanjali. Patanjali is considered the father of yoga. He wrote the Yoga Sutras. This is his little quote on what we're sort of talking about, William. When you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all your thoughts break their bonds. Your mind transcends limitations. Your consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world. Dormant forces, faculties, and talents become alive, and you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be. I've been reading that for 40 years, probably, maybe longer. Scroll Sniper says the temples are located just to the side and above the eyes, the window to our souls. Interesting. I knew our friend Squirrel Sniper would take us down the deep, deep path of contemplation. Let's see. William says, I missed part of the extension, and they can be, I missed a part of the extension, and they can be, but if they come to me as things that they don't like and expect me to change to make them happy, then what? Then you don't have to change. You don't have to make them happy. Their happiness is not your responsibility. Your happiness is your responsibility. You can't make them happy. You can't please them. If you spend the rest of your life trying, then you've wasted your entire life. It sounds harsh, but what if you work for 20 years to make them happy, and then they say, you know what, maybe you should have done this instead? People are weird. People are fickle. Stay true to you. The quote from Patanjali, this is what happens when you start a meditation path, that becomes your deep, deep practice. Meditation, and then you spend the rest of the day forgiving the projections. Meditation helps you realize, gives you that depth of sight that you're seeing things as projections. And you want to be in a state of purity. Purity doesn't mean that you don't make mistakes, that you don't have different thoughts, that you don't have sex, that you don't smoke a cigarette, that you don't do this to do that. Purity means that you are authentic and that you see the innocence of your mind, and you don't punish yourself for it. You don't punish yourself for those errant thoughts. You don't punish yourself for getting mad, for getting upset. Our friend Wolf is here. Wolf says, hi to Yogi, which is me. Wolf, how are you? Poor man says, squirrel may be referring to left and right parts of the brain. Could be an allegory or metaphor. Which one is it? Wolf says, Aya 2, Mir, William, Alana, and Sniper. Don't forget our friend Paul from Oregon, if he's still here. Wolf says, let's all hit the like button. Thank you for that. Man, I really felt like diving into the deep end of the conversational pool right when I started. And you guys definitely joined me. I appreciate it. When I saw Paul pop up, I knew it was going to go deep. And then, of course, we have all the other great minds here. Wolf, who always offers us his wisdom. Squirrel Sniper, who again, he takes that deep road. You know what I mean? You don't know exactly where it might twist or turn, pivot. William always asks great questions, and that always leads to great explorations. Our friend Mir, always here, supporting, giving energy, giving love. And we got our brand new friend, Alana. Our friend Poor Man Jim, who brought up an excellent point. All right. Let me catch up here. Wolf says he's doing good. Glad to hear that. How is Barb doing? Worm says, to most effect, yes, I don't have a lot of those desires to express innately, but the concept definitely relational. Paul is still here. Awesome, Paul. Paul says hello to Wolf. We get away from here. Squirrel says the windows on buildings are to capture the new perspective of the lower floors. So multi-story comes into play. Signature is here. Hi, my friend. Greetings from the UK and thumbs up. Man, Signature has been taking us on some awesome journeys around his city. Very much appreciated. Hope you guys are linked up with Signature. Wolf says Barb is hurting, but that's expected. I hope she's hurting a little less today than she was yesterday. I hope each day is getting a little better. Mir says 9:51. And for those who want to know why, is because we are going to, Mir is working towards getting our friend the Burpee Reaper to 1K today. How's that for a goal? So there's a wonderful book by Deepak Chopra, maybe one of my favorites, that is, I'm looking up a friend Burpee Reaper real quick. Can't seem to find him. The Spontaneous Fulfillment of Desire by Deepak Chopra. And it basically deals with the goalless goal of, yeah, we can pinpoint something and say, this is what I want, and head towards it and have a path to get there. However, it can limit us in a way, because now we're closed off to where the path might take us. We're closed off to where God might want to lead us, whatever concept of God that you have. So instead, through the process of spontaneous fulfillment of desire, which is simply the process of meditating, and then putting that desire out there for the universe to handle the details, which is exactly what Patanjali said. I'm going to read that again. That's how important it is. I'll probably read it several times. When you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all your thoughts break their bonds. Your mind transcends limitations. Your consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world. Dormant forces, faculties, and talents become alive, and you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be. Pretty amazing, huh? The Burpee Reaper is here. We were just talking about you. Mir showed up and said, we're getting to work. We are getting to work on the Burpee Reaper. Our friend Custody says, I'm proud of you all. Proud of all of you. Stay awesome, stay healthy, both physically, mentally, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe to help Eric spread love. Thank you, Custody. Speaking of spreading love, that's exactly what Custody does. He pops in and he gives a loving, positive, inspirational message, and then he goes about his day, who knows where, maybe to infinite more live streams, maybe out into the world, spreading love, neither of which surprised me in the least. The fact that he shows up here to do that so often simply amazes me. Roy says, that is insane. I'm sure he will get 1K today. Mir is dedicated. Yeah, he certainly is. And amazing. Signature says, guys, I'm on live at 8 p.m. and have new videos with old cars, 60s and 70s. Awesome. Guys, if you like old cars, check him out. As well, check out UK Medic, who has some videos of some vintage cars and motorcycles as well. I will be asleep by 8. However, I'm looking forward to seeing the video, Signature. Signature says hi to William Hart. Reaper says, how you, Eric? I'm doing pretty good. As I mentioned, I came here with an intent. I wanted to dive into the deep end of the thinking pool. I wanted to get philosophical. I wanted to ask some important questions. And you guys have not disappointed me at all. Reaper says, what's up, Paul from Oregon, in the house? Yeah, guest appearance. Pretty awesome, huh? Reaper says, good morning, YouTube family. Wolf says, hi to Reaper again. Hey, so what songs did you guys pick for the Reaper? Zara? I like both. She says, laughing out loud. Poor man says, hey, Reaper man. Reaper says, me appreciate you, brother. Paul saying hi to Lewis. Signature says, hi, my friend, the Burpee Reaper. How are you doing today? Our friend Leo. Leo said so. Let's go, baby. Much love, Yogi. Great day to you, brother. Stay strong and be safe, my guy. Thank you, Leo. Leo, way to step up and help a friend. You got him through. Hitting another PR. Let's see. Avorzis 8. Sorry, my friend. I know I messed that up. I apologize. Says, yo to you. Appreciate you being here. Reaper says, I did the Octopus song. I missed it, but I'm going to go back and listen to it. It had to be done. After the Octopus talk, I had to do it. Not the song that I would most want to represent the Beatles or me, but, it had to be done. Abort Zate says, turn on Megadeth. Man, I can't for 2 reasons. One, I'd get a strike, get a copyright infringement. And 2, I'll be honest, I don't like them. However, I salute you for liking them. And if I could do it without getting a copyright strike, I would do it just for you. Leo says, heat up, Yogi family. Hope you guys are good and safe. Stay strong and safe, people. And you as well, Leo. Octopuses, exactly. So after we had the big octopuses versus octopi conversation, I had to put it out there. 9:52. We were in the 40s, guys. Our friend Barb is here. Says, I was just asking about you, Barb. Appreciate you making an appearance. I know it's not easy for you. Says, hugs and blessings to all my spiritual brothers and sisters. And hugs and blessings to you, my friend. Reaper gives a big shout out to Barb. Says, he's nervous. He's going to get you there. Binti. Hello, my friend. How are you? Why the sad face? Eric Lapointe. How are you doing today, Eric? You enjoying your Sunday? Barb says that she is okay, just sore and tired. Yeah, it's going to take a few days. A few days said. What's next for you, Barb? Barb says hugs everyone. Mir says 9:53. We're on the countdown. So hey, let me know if you guys are trying to connect with someone and you are unable to. And I'll see if I can drop a link, or maybe someone else will be able to drop a link. If I drop a link, it's going to be from the desktop. And I believe you got to be on a desktop to access it. Dougazilla says, hi, next week I'm going to my crush's birthday. That's awesome, Godzilla. Are you going to get her a present? Give her a card? Reaper says, shoot, I might have to do the 1K burpees sooner than I thought. You might have to do it tomorrow. We get a salute from Eric Lapointe to the Burpee Reaper. That's what it's like to be in shape, guys. When you can say, I can do 1,000 tomorrow. Let's see. What did I miss? Barb says, Mabnitty. Sometimes I get it and it flows, and sometimes it doesn't. No one is better than another. It's how we look upon ourselves. I would agree with that. Godzilla says, just money. Money's not a bad gift. Paul says, you can do laundry on Lewis's abs. That's for sure. At least for the next, what is this, July? End of July coming up. 2 months? How much time do we got left, Paul? Or Reaper? Are we going into retirement September? Binti. Now I think I got it. It says, Barb, thank you. Mir says, guys, visit my shorts. Definitely visit his shorts. I was there earlier today. Let's see. Reaper says, I'd say early Sep. Football season. Barb says, Mavinti, I am right and feel the same as you at times, but I'm 69 years old. Am I missing a conversation? I don't see some of comments from Mavinti. Barb, are you seeing something that I'm not seeing? Because I'm seeing your answers, but no questions. $954, guys. Reaper says Mirror is doing it. Thank you. Eric White says, I've done it, Paul. It smells like 1,000 Navy SEALs. after? Not worth it? Yeah, I guess not. Plus, Burpee Reaper keeps complaining that it tickles. Mabinti says, thank you for responding to me. I was really sad and felt like I was ruining the vibe of the stream. Mabinti, I don't see any of them. I see you're replying to signature, but I don't see anything else. Trust me, my friend, you definitely could not ruin the vibe of the stream. I'm looking up above and I don't see anything. So I apologize. Yeah, you definitely couldn't ruin it. And I'm sorry that you're really sad. Man, instead of even considering that you could ruin the vibe of the stream, how about the stream can help lift up your vibe? What can we do to make you feel better? Let me look at my phone. Am I missing something? Yeah, Mabinti, I really apologize. I don't see any of your comments. I mean, I see these comments here, but I don't see anything that is anything that you might be referring to. So, Mabinti says, I was saying I was feeling insecure. Like white women are better than me. I'm black. What makes you consider that? I mean, what life experience might have you had that brought that about? Paul from Oregon says, laughing out loud, from philosophical ponderings to Lewis's abs, my derailment streak remains intact. Or should we talk about the philosophical implications of doing your laundry on Lewis's abs? There might be a deep philosophy there. Lana says, my name is Lana. And our friend Flower is here. Flower has been missing in action for the past couple days. Reaper says, you guys. Paul from Oregon says, abs all the way down. Man, if anyone demonstrates that, if anyone demonstrates the deep philosophical ab blueprint, the blueprint of the universe could be found on the abs of the Burpee Reaper. Burpee Reaper, actually, abs could hold the secret to the actual Holy Grail. It's not a metaphor when they say the Holy Grail. He's actually showing you the way to get to the Holy Grail. Alana says, good, pregnant? Mabinti says, it started when I would see race preference videos, and the men would always reject black women. And I watched another video like that today. I don't even know why I watched, and it would make me sad. Sometimes things like that pop up, and we watch them subconsciously to reaffirm a low opinion that we have on ourselves, which is sad that we do that, but it's out of our control. We're not doing it purposely. Again, it's subconsciously, and I can't say that's the case for you. It's also, we could flip it around, an excellent opportunity for you to start really, really looking within and discovering your own beauty in so many varied ways. The beauty of your uniqueness, the beauty of being who you are, the beauty of your skin color, the beauty of your hair, the beauty of your soul, the beauty of your energy. Barb is tired, run down, and just resting to heal. And I mentioned before, I'm glad that Wolf is there taking care of you. Eric Lapointe says, sorry for being in and out of everyone's chat. I've been doing much needed work since I've met so many great friends and have been slacking. Blaming his friends. I'll take full responsibility. Eric Lapointe, if your wife needs to come in here and yell at someone, she can definitely yell at me. I feel like I set you down the wrong path, the wrong YouTube path. You probably came on YouTube looking for some nice, entertaining cat videos, maybe a recipe. And you stumbled upon just a yogi talking weird stuff in his office. And the next thing you know, Burpee Reaper popped in and said, hey, Eric Lapointe, you ever do burpees before? Now look where you are. Now you're a YouTube legend. Flower says, yeah, I was catching up on sleep. Well, good. I can't fault you for that, Flower. Alana says, hi. Barb says, Nabinti, some people can be cruel. Take it from me. Just stay away from those places. Sadly so, Barb. I agree. Reaper says, oh man, that 1K Navy SEALs will get to the bottom and rock hard. We'll get to the bottom and rock hard. And Flower dives in, her traditional saying hi to everyone. Paul from Oregon says, a man spits dogs and does burpees. And rides tractors. And yet displays his sensitive side with nature videos of baby birds and butterflies. How is that for well-rounded? Rio says, stay blessed you all. Guys, feel free to drop each other's links. Let's see. Mabinti says, I love it here. Feels like a very cozy corner of the internet. Thank you. And you know what? We try to keep it that way. Wanting everyone to feel like they can discuss whatever needs to be discussed. Reaper says, Samir, want to see some 1K burpees? Let's go. 9:56. Eric Point says, actually, Alana says, you want to be the uncle of the baby on YouTube. I think we could all be aunts and uncles here. YouTube aunts and uncles. Eric Point says, yes, Yogi, I credit you for the friends and blame you at the same time. I'll certainly take the credit. You know what? You can't take the credit without taking the blame. Man, Eric Lapointe took just a tiny, tiny inspiration. This is what I mean, William, talking about those dormant forces. Just tiny inspiration. And it kept expanding and expanding and expanding. And now he has a YouTube empire. He's Mr. 1K. It was just months ago, literally just over a month ago or so, that he was talking about getting his first 50 subscribers and doing a live stream, doing some burpees live. Flower is continuing with the highs. No one comes in when Flower's here without getting a personal high. Paul from Oregon says, they did a resistance band splitting logs short a long time ago. It's like I remember that. But Binti says, I saw a rabbit at the pool a few days ago. Awesome. I saw quite a few rabbits today. One of my all-time favorite things to see. My Binti says that she can be an ant. Nice. Flower says, oh yeah. Flower says the wars are getting closer. Man, I hope there is some kind of intervention. I hope there's something that happens that brings about a state of peace. Barring that, Flower, I gotta say, I hope you go to Thailand. I hope you and your mother, your sister, anyone else, make your way to Thailand and that you just be safe. Selfish reasons on my part, I just want you to be safe. 9:57. Barb says, it would have to be the grandmother. I am too old for the aunt. You could be the great aunt. Lana says, yes, you can, my Binti. Signature says, hi to Barb, and how are you doing? Reaper says, sounds like we need to see the point and do a 1K burpee routine. What do you think about that, Eric Lapointe? Lana says, can you please send some diapers and wipes? Hey, Alana, where are you located? Mabinti says, Barb, what surgery? Yeah, just a few days ago. Signature says, I'm sorry. I wish you a speedy recovery. Barb says, I am okay. God held me. My spiritual family here said prayers, and everything went well. Lana says, okay. Our friend Walking with Goldie is here. Says hi, they love the people. And hello there, lovely Goldie. Mabinti says, you all can do a Guinness World Record burpees. Man, I'd be willing to bet that our friend Burpee Reaper could do so. However, if you see the type of burpees that they do to get that record, not our style, really. Not putting that down, because, man, they're fast. But if you want strength and precision, then Burpee Reaper is the one to watch. Barb says, recovery is hard and tiresome. I'm tired of the bed, but I'm trying to do what doctors told me to do. That's important, for sure. Lana says, I live on Ronkonkoma. How close was I to that? On Long Island. Oh, nice. Flower says, so my city, Mandalay, won't be safe anymore, but Yangon, where my cousin is, will be for the while, but eventually we'll have to leave the country if things don't get better. Flower, why wait? Babinti says, to Barb, listen to the doctors so you can heal well. My mom just got knee surgery, and she is listening to them. Sometimes it's definitely hard to listen to the doctors. Cody says, I'm sorry, Flower. Yeah, so am I. I mean, it sounds wrong to urge someone to leave their country, but at the same time, man, we just want Flower to be safe. Reaper says pancake. Can't go wrong with pancake. Just going to check out Reaper's page again. We're at 9:57. Barb says, I have to listen, for it is spreading. They sit on my lung and in my liver now, but God will pull me through it all. Prayers to you, my friend Barb, for sure. Goldie says hi to Mabinti. Anna says, I have to go now. I have to get checked. Good luck, Alana. I appreciate you stopping by. Hope to see you before you have your baby. It's going to name the baby Michelle. She is 5 months pregnant. Reaper says, sorry to hear that, Flower. Flower says, because we just aren't in the position to leave. We're getting our feud starting. Mabinti says, waffles are better. We have had great discussions on just this topic. Flower, how about you and your sister go to your father in Korea? Reaper says, the world is shifting and we're all going to feel it. Man, I can't argue that. We can fix it, but it's up to us individually. We're not going to do it by getting out in the world and trying to fix it. It's all going to be on the individual level, and so the world changes, person by person by person. Reaper says, just pray and hope your name is called. If not, get ready. Flower says, because of my school and friends and grandpa is currently going through cancer treatment, but he doesn't have long to live. Prayers to your grandpa, Flower. Man, that's breaks my heart to think of our friend Flower having to endure all that she is having to endure. Alana says, thanks everyone. You're welcome, my friend. Mabinti says, oh my God, the baby's going to have a November birthday. Yeah. November. Nice. November in New York. Reaper says, waffles. No, you're on the right track. You're on the right track with pancakes. Flower says, they don't have a sister, though. I thought you mentioned before that you had a sister. Our friend Timo is here. Did you guys get a chance to hang out with Timo and Bax earlier today? He did a really beautiful live stream with Bax. Flower says hi to Optimum. Barb says, blessings one and all. I'm tired. Going to go lay down. Hugs to all. Remember, God will take care of us. I'll talk to you later. Send love to you, my friend Barb. I hope you get some rest. Alana says, you want to be my sister? Me? I would find that technically difficult. However, happy to be your friend. Flower says, I'm not sure it works. It works like that. But how old are you? It's a good point, Flower. Goldie says hi to Timo. Mabinti says Flower is a strong person. Yes, she is. Great observation, Mabinti. Rose says, I wish I could say I am surprised, but I know for a fact that I won't be called out early. I'm here for the long haul. I've never had a good pancake or waffle, only frozen store-bought. Uh, and those are meh. Yeah, they are. Man, we got to take you out for some good pancakes. Take a road trip down to Maryland. Um, and we'll take you to our favorite vegan restaurant, Great Sage. Give it a shout out. Um, and we will take you to Sunday brunch for pancakes. Used to be an everyday, every week thing for Mocha and I. No matter where we were in our relationship, which runs the gauntlet of everything. Anything you guys can name, we've been through it, but we would always put things aside. Sunday brunch. Goldie says hi to William. But Betty says because she's 5 months now, 9 months is November. Yeah, exactly. November baby. At least she'll be, more comfortable in the winter. She won't have to be endure the pregnancy during the winter, during this cold months. Reaper says, so sorry to hear that. He definitely feels your pain. Can you imagine that, Reaper? Never having a good pancake? Reaper says, I wish you could try my pancakes. They're delicious. Flower says, well, my sister died a few days in the hospital, but I do have a lot of cousins. Now, I do remember you mentioning that first part. I just thought when you did your live stream, you had mentioned something about your sister, but maybe I misheard that. Well, obviously I misheard that. Goldie says, William, in our house, I make the pancakes. My daughter makes the waffles, all from scratch. Wow. How did you come about that distinction, that you were the pancake person, she was the waffle person? Reaper says, Goldie, please send me some. We should have pancakes all the way around. We should have a Sunday burpee pancake session. You got to get a certain number of reps on a Sunday to earn your pancakes. Goldie says, how about you come and eat some fresh? Nice. Reaper says, of course, Eric would go vegan. You would never tell the difference between a vegan pancake and a regular pancake. I think. As it's been so long since I've had a regular pancake. Warren says, that would be cool. I have never been. Wonder how far of a drive that is from Kansas. I'm going to say I don't think it can be done in a day. 16 hours, 19 hours. Maybe someone could do it in a day. That would be some serious driving. Technically, I think you're only 3 states away. That I would drive through Virginia, drive through Tennessee, drive through Missouri, and I would be at your borders. However, Virginia is a big state. Tennessee is a long state. I don't know much about Missouri other than it's a box-like state, but I imagine it's fairly large. Babinti says, I have to eat vegan waffles this one restaurant because I can't eat dairy. I think they taste just as good. Reaper says, Goldie, as long as it's black coffee. Only way to drink your coffee, guys. Goldie says, of course he would. I am to meat is my favorite vegetable. Meat is her favorite vegetable. She has a meat garden. You go out and you pick fresh meat daily. Reaper says, oh my God, I can't imagine. Mabinti says, I was going to say maybe my dad could take me, but he's going to make me drive. I'm tired of driving him around. Where are you? Where are you located, Mabinti? I might have asked you this before. Goldie says, with or without a touch of cinnamon. Gotta have cinnamon. William says, I am free in August, and that is when I am trying to coordinate everything. So I will try something after that, hopefully. I mentioned to Mocha this morning that you had some questions about Ohio, and that if she wanted to write something out for me, that I would send it to you. If you look under my friends list on Facebook, you'll see, of course, Mocha. And if you want to extend a friend request to her and ask her some questions, I'm sure she would be welcome to that. Reaper says, Goldie, you know I'll be taking some cinnamon. Flower says, to be honest, my grandpa only have about 6 months to live. I'm sorry to hear that, Flower. Sending prayers out to you, your grandfather, to your parents. That's hard with all the other hardship that's going on right now. Give me a second, guys. Paul says pancakes. I'm in agreement with Paul. I'm of the opinion, I've mentioned this before, that a waffle is just a pancake putting on airs. Getting a little too big for its britches. Being all fancy, look at me, I'm a waffle. It's just a pancake with dents. That's all. Of course, it can hold a little more syrup. Syrup doesn't fall off of it. It does have its pluses. However, don't be acting like you're all high and mighty just because you have syrup holders. My pancakes, my old-fashioned pancakes, do just fine. Reaper says, sounds like we're going to Eric's for. He didn't mention vegan pancakes, but yes, vegan pancakes. Come on by, guys. Take it down to the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. We can go to D.C. Protest something. There's always something to protest if you wanted to. Museums are fun. Always fun to go to D.C. for the day. I used to go to Georgetown for the clubs because when they put the drinking age to 21, and I was about 17, Georgetown was still 18, and I could pass for 18, I couldn't pass for 21. Timo says to Flower, I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you, Timo. Goldie says, I love pancakes. She loves one kind of waffles. She used to have them when she was little. She's tweaking, the recipe. Yeah, I think maybe the best recipes should be tweaked a little here and there. Reaper says, Flower, I'm sorry. Thank you for that, Flower. Or Reaper. Definitely sending prayers out to our friend Flower. William says, most people wouldn't know, as most box pancakes mix is processed filler fake flour. Yeah, as Michael Pollan, the author, Omnivore's Dilemma, Food Rules says, don't eat anything out of a box. Eat real food, mostly plants. And then he gives these descriptions. What is real food? Real food doesn't come from a box. Doesn't have more than 5 ingredients. Now that doesn't mean if you're making pancakes from scratch, you can't have 5 different spices or 5 different whatever. It means that 5 different ingredients that are separate from the thing itself, if that makes sense. If you can't if you're reading the recipe or if you're reading the ingredients and you can't pronounce it, it's not real food. If your grandmother wouldn't recognize it as food, it's not real food. Goldie says, tweaking the recipe until it's perfect. How do we know when it's absolutely perfect? When it can't be tweaked anymore? I guess you got to go over the line. I guess you hit that perfect, and then you go a little bit farther and you go, nope, you got to go back. Maybe the only way you can really know perfection is going past perfection. We're back to making that philosophical. We're making that philosophical turn again. Well, how did I fall behind so quick? Let me go all the way to the bottom. I saw a comment from Flower saying about me being behind, and I thought, I'm not behind. And then I looked, and man, I'm behind. That's what happens. You get start talking about pancakes. Reaper says, appreciate you the point. Timo says, AFK. What is AFK? Mir says, Burpee 959. We're getting up there, guys. Goldie says, because it has to be it has to be exactly the taste she remembers when she was little. Nice. Those are nice kind of memories. So, Timo says, see you later, and he drops the link. He's got a premiere this evening, guys. I hope you can make it. Eric Point says, 1 sub. Reaper says, I've seen one little treat, and it had like 30 freaking ingredients. Yep, that's what he means by it's not real food. Don't eat it. Optimob says, pizza. Goldie says she doesn't eat pizza. Optimob says, don't eat anything out of the box except pizza. Man, there's exceptions to every rule. That's for sure. You can get 5-ingredient pizza. It really doesn't need that doesn't count toppings. You know, again, things like that. That's different. Of course, in order for it to last in a box, it has to have a ton of preservatives in it, and that's when we get in trouble. Reaper says, so don't go to any grocery store. The advice in grocery stores is shop around the aisles. Shop the circumference. That's where they put the healthier food. When you find yourself going down the aisle, chances are you're going to find less healthy foods. Flower says, you can turn on slow-mo. I wish I knew how to turn on slow-mo. I don't know how to do it. I would if I knew how to do it. Our friend Cameron is here. Cameron, how are you? Mabinti says, yeah, you're right. The whole point, waffle is the texture and the mouthfeel. Good point. Excellent point. Goldie says, to Optimob, don't worry about it. Life is lived, especially when friends come to visit. Make beautiful memories. Excellent advice. William says, thank you very much. I will until I am available to ask for here. I am weird about extended invitations. Mabinti is in North Carolina. You're not too far from me, 1 state away. North Carolina is a beautiful state. William says, thank you for stopping by. To Optimob, definitely thank you for stopping by. Reaper says, you give me pancakes for burpees, then I'm game. Yeah, no doubt. Man, I used to love pancakes after an ultra race. And Timo says he can't stay. That's quite all right, Timo. I appreciate you just being here, even for a little bit. Rome says, so I'll give bonus pancakes. Storm says, love it. I would love to try some and love the burpee challenge, but I don't want to make people do them. All we do is ask ourselves to do them. All right, let me get down to the bottom again. My Minty says, I hear Michael Pollan. I'm a big fan of Michael Pollan. My Minty says, Eric's Pancakes House and breakfast. Well, I'd have to say brunch, because you guys don't want to get up the same time as me. You don't want to have breakfast when I have breakfast. Oh, AWY, away from keyboard. Thank you for that, Timo. Thank you for that, my Minty. Flower says, Eric, how? I didn't have you to translate it for me, Flower. Flower never fails to make me laugh. She says, AFK, away from keyboards, all caps. We've been through this. I'm sorry. I've let you down. I've disappointed you. Mir says, burpee 60. 960. Reaper says, Mirror is good. It definitely is. Worm says, so mode would be an effective limit. Now, mods less than a certain amount of time, which wouldn't help our case much. Man, I guess you guys got to face it. I'm slow. There you go. Avinti says, Derek's Pancakes House and brunch. I'd have to get Milka to make the pancakes, guys. Although, at one point in my life, I was actually a professional cook. I was not a chef. I was a cook. People in the restaurant I worked in would continuously return the chili that I made and said it was too hot. It was too spicy. To which I would inevitably reply, it's not stew. If you want something that isn't hot, that isn't spicy, then you order stew. If you want something, if you get chili, you're getting chili. Don't come into my restaurant and complain about the chili being too hot. Otherwise, you don't really want chili. And their answer was, 1, this isn't your chili. 2, make the chili the way we tell you to. 3, if you don't, you're fired. To which I replied, okay. But then we would have the same conversation the next day. Mabinti says, is someone having a burpee challenge in chat? There's always a burpee challenge implied somewhere. The Burpee Reaper is always only one breath away from taking off his shirt and doing 1,000 burpees. Any place, anytime. The drop of the hat. And not only that, it would be his hat and he would drop it. Paul says, got to head out, folks. Great being here. Too long. Much love. Much love to you, Paul. Man, I really appreciate you stopping by. It has been a long time. Brings about a lot of memories. A lot of great, great memories. Hanging out with Paul from Oregon. Hey, if he's still here, Paul from Oregon is instrumental for me even having a burpee channel, any kind of channel. If it wasn't for him and our friend Nick, wouldn't be doing this. Paul said, hey, you've been a big, you've been encouraging me, but you don't have a channel. You mind doing a video? And I said, sure, I'll do one video. What could it hurt? One video. And now, 700 and some videos later, now we know what it can hurt. Goldie says, have a great afternoon and evening, Paul. Reaper says, Paul from Oregon, much respect, brother. Dr. Point says, see you, Paul. You have a great channel. He does have a great channel. Reaper says to Mavinti, no, just me when you get to 1K subs. Goldie says, Mavinti, there's always a burpee challenge in the chat. Right, Lewis? This is right. Absolutely. Very good point. Says true. Reaper says, the plan is for me to go live when I'm around 995 subs and then hit go at 1K. Man, that would be awesome. 962. Reaper said he's getting excited. Big Point says, I can't do anything until after tree trimming is done. Tree trimming is its own challenge. Yeah, that many trees, Eric, that's got to be somewhat exhausting. Reaper says, Paul is the best IDGF, how I look, burpee practitioner. Smacks that stomach and drops it. 100. Paul is another one that's really precise in all of his movements. Nothing wasted. Very economical in his movement. Goldie says, yes, are those machetes that you were using to trim the trees, Eric LaPointe? Reaper says, the point, you guys hiring? Eric says, yes. Yes to the hiring. Hey, William Hart, you want to be working on a Christmas tree farm? Goldie says, nice. 963. Reaper says, I would love to work for the point. Reaper says, sir, I have some work to do, and then I'm coming back. All right, we're going to be live probably for 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. We'll see. I'm going to take a 1-minute bathroom break. Like the point says, you wouldn't like to pay, Reaper? I don't know. If you paid in pancakes. William says, sure, how much? Reaper says, I will try my best, sir. That's all we can ever do. William says, hell, if enough for food and board, I don't care. Reaper says, okay, guys, bye for now. Reaper says, I appreciate you, Mir. It's okay. I really appreciate what you do. Brother, much respect. Reaper says, best wishes. Reaper says, some friends are waiting on our side, guys. Hey, make sure Mir's got some new shorts up. Make sure you get to his channel and check out his shorts. Leave a comment. 964. Thanks for the report, William. 964. That's awesome. All right, guys. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. What'd I miss? Eric Point says, I'll see what I can do. Eric Point says, hey guys, to take a bite of that hot dog with Point and the cigar. Don't forget the beer. Hot dog, cigar, beer. William says, guys, WTH is going on. William, how are you? Hey, William, did you pick a song? I was there when you showed up, but I wasn't there if you picked a song. Wolf says, hi to William Downey. Let's see, Goldie says hi to William. Reaper says, the Point and Bill are always going at it. My beer. So, Reaper is saying, thanks for Mir for all his support. And man, he supported so many of us, which is awesome to see. So, definitely want to keep remembering to bring that support back to him. And on the topic of support and thank you, guys, thanks for showing up and hanging out with me as often as you guys do. Even if just popping in to say hi, it's all appreciated. And I want to make sure. Oh, I did see that William says, Dancing Queen. Did he do it? Goldie says, I love it. Abba, you and I have that in common, my friend. I'm always defending Abba to Milka. She's not anti-ABBA. She's not really anti-anything music, but she definitely has her preferences and is always kind enough to let me know that her preferences are better than mine. William says, a lot of Erics and a lot of Williams here. It's been my experience, there can never be too many Erics and there can never be too many Williams. Gotta have just the right number. Let's see, our friend Canal here. And man, what do you think he's going to say, guys? Reaper says, I didn't read it, Mr. Williams. I'm sorry. We got it for next week, though. Rose says, I don't know. Had to leave to go for a call. I know the number 2 song was Octopus's Garden. I apologize. It had to be done. The reason was for the conversation we had yesterday. Not because it's a great song. It had to be done. Let's see. Yeah, eat some meat, bro. Lay off the eating leaves. Got it, Canal. Eric Point says, Canal, this is a first. Good one. Yeah, man. He got me with that one, didn't he? I think next will be Skinny, Disappear. I don't know. He might want to throw in a bald comment. That would be good. Let's see. So, Canal says, you got color in your skin, bro. Yeah, you know what? I had skin cancer on the back of my neck removed. Years of ultra running, never wearing sunscreen. And it just doesn't pay. Just doesn't pay, you know? Canal says, because lack of meat. Yes, the most tan people are meat eaters. It's an excellent point. I would say it's a scientific principle. Let's see. Goldie says, I love it. The winner takes it all. Slipping through my fingers. Chiquita, Fernando. All of them. There is not a bad there's not a bad ABBA song. So we get a few things deleted from Canal, not because it's offensive, mainly because it's just not funny. If Canal came in, we've had some really funny trolls here. If he came in and was original and he was funny, um, you know, that'd be one thing. But it's the same stuff every day. He was actually on Reaper's site at one time, calling him out, calling him skinny, telling him to bulk up and to lift weights. Again, I don't mind, but it's unoriginal at a certain point. Our friend Team, he comes in, and he is 100% roasting me like no one else, but it's always original. It's always something, and he does it good naturedly. He's not trying to be the, I just want to help. I just want to give you some good advice. The thing is, again, when you say stuff like that, you just don't know. Would our friend Canal be happy if I didn't use sunscreen and I went out and got sun cancer or skin cancer again? When we say things like that, we don't realize that everyone's going through something. Everyone has been through something. Everyone has a reason for doing what they're doing. And who's anyone to say, you should look like this? It would please me. It would make me happy if you looked like this. Why? Why does that mean anything whatsoever? And why would I want to respond to something like that? So, Reaper says, let's see. William says, who is this effing cannoli? Let's see. Goldie says, I agree. Talking about ABBA. No bad songs. Reaper says, oh, that guy. Yep, that guy. Goldie says, yes. Lewis, that guy. Reaper says, just tell him to do burpees. He runs away from that. I remember when you did that. You called him out. You or someone else went to his page and saw that he didn't have any content. Not burpee number 1. Not even one squat, weighted squat. Not even a bench press. I'm not calling him out. I don't care. I don't even care the comments that he makes, other than, man, there's 1,000 things to pick on me about. Come in here, well, the bald thing's all over the place too. You can make fun of the glasses. You can make fun of the bald. You can ask me, have I read all the books that are behind me? I bet you haven't read a single one. I don't know. Something. But the same thing every time he visits. Cody says it's the end of shift inventory. He really did. He disappeared from Reaper's page when Reaper said, do some burpees. Let me know what you got. Let's see. Wolf says, well, from a guy that is 145 pounds, sick and wet, Reaper is skinny but pumped. Yeah, he's ripped. Rowan says hi to Goldie. Eric Point gets a thumbs up. Wolf says that 49 years old, 59 actually. Yogi has heard them all. I've definitely heard them all. When I was big, when I was 220-pound powerlifter, people would say, man, you probably can't run. You probably can't do this. You probably can't do that. And my answer was, I'm not training to be a runner. I'm training to powerlift. When I was ultra running, I was very lean. And people would say, man, you can't bench whatever. And I'd be like, I'm an ultra runner. I'm not supposed to bench whatever. I'm supposed to run for a really, really long time. Someone is always going to give you their best opinion about something, and none of it matters whatsoever. I had a conversation with our friend Laradox, who really wants me to worship his version of Jesus. He was posting on some stuff that I wrote, And he's very sincere, and I appreciate it. But man, you can't go through life expecting others to meet your demands, especially when the demands make no sense whatsoever. Do you think Cannell's life would be any bit different if I said, "Oh yeah, definitely, I got to eat some meat. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some bacon." You think his day would be happier? If I thought for a second, if he was absolutely miserable, and I thought he would have a better day if he ate one piece of bacon, I'd eat a piece of bacon for him. But he'd have the same old life that he's having now. He would find someone else to visit on their page and say, "Bro, do this, do that." The reason why, we were talking about this before, William points it out perfectly. Our friend William Hart, their own addictions. There is nothing wrong with being skinny or bald or any of those things. It saddens me that maybe their only interaction. I can't shame someone who would have an illness like being swept in their own addictions. Exactly. And back to the original conversation with yoga. Everyone is seeing the world through their own filters, through their own kleshas, or the 5 afflictions of the mind. And for whatever reason, they're so caught up. Warren was talking about other people's addictions. We're all addicted to our own opinion, our own thoughts, and our own beliefs, and we think that this is the way things are supposed to be, that the world would be better if it conformed, but it's never going to, and it's not supposed to. We are supposed to get rid of our own mental addictions. We are not supposed to believe that our opinion is the opinion. William says, "I got to get going, guys. Calls keep coming." William, thanks for coming in. Very much appreciate it. I'm going to talk for about 10 more minutes. Eric Point says, "It could have been funnier for sure. Only gave him 10 seconds. I figured that was his attention span." That was an excellent point, Eric Point. That was also pretty funny. He is off somewhere else telling them to eat meat, or, you know what, to be fair, he might go to a meat eater's page. He might go to a carnivore's page and say, "Hey, eat a vegetable." We just don't know. Wolf says, "But to be truly fit, you should cross-train for more disciplines." I agree. I used to have conversations. I'd love to have this conversation with actually all of you guys. What would constitute being truly fit? I think you need to be able to ruck. I think you need to put a heavy pack on and be able to cover a great distance. You need to be able to move an object. So I'm not talking bench press. I'm talking about, can you get a fallen tree off of a path? Can you pick up a rock? Can you pick a heavy limb off of someone? That type of stuff. Norm says, "Shouldn't make fun of anyone. Tell him to get the F out next time." I agree, William. I 100% agree. I figured, man, honestly, I'd rather have him here making fun of me than somewhere else making fun of someone else. William says, "I didn't say it was wrong or right, but you can also choose how you feel it. Or we can recognize how we feel it." Sometimes I'm not sure if we have that choice. I think it just comes up. Feelings of hurt are feelings of hurt. We can't say I chose to be hurt. However, we can choose, when we're aware, we can offer an alternative. We can become responsive instead of reactive. And for me, when someone like Cannell comes in, it's an opportunity for me to see if I can be responsive. Same with, when Paradox makes an appearance, and we have these conversations with him. He's young, he's enthusiastic, he's got a really good heart. I'd rather be responsive. I don't want to be reactive and say something that I would regret to someone that I like and someone that I care about. And honestly, um, I don't know anything about Canal, obviously. It could be a bot for all I know. He could be a bot from the big meat industry sent to see if they can get me to eat meat again. That they've lost important revenue, that they're not making the profit that they need. They're taking down one vegan at a time, and they think if they send a bot named Canal into my live stream, that they could hurt my feelings enough so that I would eat meat and they would make money off of me. But I'm onto their ways. I know these conspiracy theories. I know how the world works, and I'm not buying it. But the actual point, before I went way, way, way down the rabbit hole, is I don't know. Canal, I assume he's a person. I assume that there is some type of agenda that he believes that he needs to say something to someone somewhere. And in that way, I do care about him. I don't want his feelings to be hurt any more than I want my feelings to be hurt. I do my best to be responsive. Is it always easy? Almost. Almost all the time these days. It wasn't always. I was never like a super, super angry person, but I could get highly annoyed over incidences. Why would, especially something like that, why would anyone choose to be unkind? Why would anyone purposely want to make fun of someone's just for looking different? Because everyone looks different. Everyone has something that they might be insecure about. So yes, I would, I'd get annoyed for, how dare you be mean-spirited? Not to me in particular, but to anyone. But these days, man, I don't know what's going on in someone's life that would make them want to do that. So for me, there is a lot of sympathy towards someone who has that, for whatever reason, deep desire that they believe that they would feel better by hurting someone else. Let's see. Sorry about that, guys. Went off on a brief tangent. Wolf says he's probably in another room telling them to eat more vegetables. Exactly. He's a equal opportunist defender. He's probably telling someone right now, man, you're way too tan. You're way too tan. That's because you eat too much meat. Let's see. William says, I would like to thank Yogi. Why at any time choose anything other than love? Damn, it is hard, but it's starting to feel freer. Oh, man, William, that makes me so happy to hear because it certainly does. It frees you 100%. It's hard until it's not hard any longer. It's hard when we practice it, but then at some point, it's no longer practice. It's just spontaneous. Sometimes it's still a practice. I get these spontaneous feelings, absolute unconditional love. And other times I got to practice a little bit more. It's all good though. We got a salute from Reaper. Roy says I meant feed, not feel. Understand. William Downey says you're a good man. I thank you, William. Man, I'm just trying to get by. I set the priority for myself that above all, I wanted to be free. Wanted to be liberated. I didn't want to hurt someone just because I was hurt. I didn't want to insult someone just because I felt insulted. Because I felt small and insignificant, that I had a right to make someone else feel small and insignificant. I wanted to be free of all of that. Wolf says, William, you're correct. It's only an insult if you take it that way. Absolutely. Don't take anything personal. And truth is, you can't take anything personal because you are not the personal. You're not the ego. You're not that thing that reacts. You are the space that responds. The more you can relate to spirit, this is why Pierre Talahan de Chardin, the French Jesuit priest anthropologist, imagine that, an anthropologist and Jesuit priest, said that we are not human beings that have an occasional spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings that are having a human experience. The more that we can relate to ourselves as a spiritual being, the easier life is. Boom says it's more inherited than you think. I got lucky young. Our friend Brian is here. Brian says hello, Eric and chat. Brian, how are you? Boom says, I know we don't delve too extensively into politics. There was a podcast with John Rich, I think as a guest, who talks from a Christian perspective about how things have been influenced to that effect. Interesting. Like Jesus hasn't raptured yet, so it can't be evil, right? It's always a way of justifying, how we would like to think. Jesus has become the great justifier. And of course, everything that they say, Jesus never would have justified. He laid things out quite clearly. Some biblical scholars believe that only words ever spoken in the Bible and the New Testament from Jesus were the Sermon on the Mount, the Beatitudes. Everything else is someone saying, and Jesus said this, Jesus said that, except for the Beatitudes, where it is actual words of Jesus, and it's instructions. This is how to live your life. And he doesn't waver. He doesn't do any, hey, if you're feeling up to it, if you think you can do it, if you're up for the challenge, says this is it. And then he goes on and gives you implicit directions of where to find heaven. And yet we got those words and we immediately built churches and walls of separation between us and God, us and nature, and us and other people. And they don't belong. We don't need them. We don't need intimate areas in between us and God, in between us and Jesus. We need our heart. You can substitute Jesus for Krishna if you have a mind to. I have not heard of John Rich. Brian Lane says he's good. As I told our friend Laradox in my reply to him that, hey, I went to a Catholic school, grade school, middle school, my first year in high school, until I was given the suggestion I should probably go to another school, maybe look for a new religion. all very helpful suggestions. And I took him up on both of those, actually. But no one should question another person's relationship with Jesus outside of a church. No one should assume that their relationship is any deeper or any more meaningful than anyone else's. Just because you have a particular way, that's not even your way. You were given it by someone else. How many people ever question the faith that they were brought up in? For those who have, a big salute. Even if you go back, at least you examined it and you came to the conclusion on your own. This is why I am. How many people do that with their politics? Why am I this as opposed to that? Is it because my parents were and I never questioned it? Question. You still might come back, but now you do it so knowing why. This is why I always say, if I'm asked, am I a Democrat, am I a Republican? I always say my politics is love, my politics is kindness. This is what I base my religion on. This is what I base my politics on. William says that approach is a grander analogy of things, but he is attempting to highlight the approach taken in all aspects. You might have to look him up, William, get that different perspective. The only reason I don't really delve into politics is because somewhere down the line, someone would say, "Oh, I see you are this," and it immediately causes a sense of separation. Well, I'm this, so therefore I have to disagree with you. And then we never reach those points of agreement. When you talk about love, people can come to terms of agreement. When you talk about inclusion, people can come to terms of agreement. When you don't give it a label, it isn't anything. So how do you argue? How do you argue against something that isn't? We only argue against things that is. Purposely bad grammar, by the way. Eric Point says true. The only way to find truth is to question everything you don't already know. Exactly. This is why the Tao Te Ching says the Tao that can be told is not the true Tao. The God that can be described is not the true God. How do you describe the ineffable? How do you describe the essence of all things? How can I possibly say that God is within a tree, but not within a houseplant? God is in a dog, but not in a cat. I'm checking, make sure my cats didn't hear me say that. Also why in A Course in Miracles it says words are but symbols twice removed. Alan Watts said, you never get wet by the word water. I can say water all I want and you'll never get wet. You'll never know the taste of a mango by my description, only when you experience a mango. You'll never know the truth by believing that you have an exclusive version of the truth. So here's another reason I appreciate our friend Canal. For one, now I know I need to eat meat. I had not realized that. I've been doing this vegan thing all wrong. I've been going about it not eating meat, and now I know I'm supposed to eat meat. So a big thank you to our friend Canal. And two, look at the conversation that has started from Canal coming in. The fact that we get to have a meaningful conversation about the essence of politics, about the essence of religion, about the essence of God, about dogs being better than cats. I got to say, if we had this attitude at the very beginning of the conversation, I think everyone would have agreed with me that pancakes are better than waffles. It would have saved us a whole lot of energy. Discussion would have been over. We could have ended the live stream right then and there. For the record, I was just joking about dogs being better than cats, but I was 100% serious about pancakes being better than waffles. Running Boy says, what's up, guys? Eric Point says, facts. Glad I got that support. Got to have a support system in life. When you take a firm stance on an issue like pancakes and waffles, it's good to have a support team. It's good to know that you don't stand alone. I know our friend Runner Boy is a pancake person. Brian says, hello to Runner Boy. Brian says, you're all caught up today, Eric? Yeah, for now. I'm actually going to call it a day in about 2 minutes. But I'll be back. I've appreciated these conversations. And again, I do appreciate Canal. Because sometimes someone can act as a trigger. I'm checking in on the Burpee Reaper, who is at 964. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, it took me a while to get caught up, Brian, and I've been trying to keep abreast. Runner Boy says a waffle is just squished bread. See? He gets it. Well, Runner Boy has a wisdom far beyond his years. William says, I'm terrified of pancakes being undercooked, so I will almost always order a whole grain toast. They need to be done by a professional or someone who has been doing them for a very long time. Someone who knows the way, the Tao of pancakes, the Zen of pancakes. So, Milka being from Dayton, Ohio, she does take a trip back every so often. If you ended up moving to Columbus, we would stop in, we would take you out for pancakes. Brian says, I got to get back to work. Wish you all a blessed day. You as well, Brian. Thanks for popping in. Hey, I appreciate your recent comments on my writing, on my post. I appreciate that very much. I appreciate your insights. All right, guys, so I'm going to wrap it up for the afternoon. I'll be back. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate your support. Appreciate you having my back. Always good to know. I think our friend Goldie is in the midst of inventory now. We'll end it all here with a prayer. One for our friend Flower and the situation that she's in now. Her grandfather with her country. Our friend Barb for healing. Our friend Bumblebee T, still in the hospital. Things are a little uncertain how long she's going to stay. Salina, caregiver for her sister Dana, and anyone else who actually needs prayers coming their way. Hey, not to leave out our friend Wolf, because being a caregiver for someone you love who is ill is a difficult job, a difficult task. So sending prayers of strength to our friend Wolf. Let's see. Eric says, another great live. Goldie has just finished up. Awesome. William says, sweet, I may have to challenge her for the role of making pancakes for everyone for the Burpee Brunch Challenge. I think we can take turns. And then afterwards, when we have the great burpee off, we can have the great pancake off. There can only be one pancake champion. William says, have a great night, everyone. You too, William. Again, guys, I'll be back. I know you spent a lot of time with me this afternoon. That may be just enough yogi. That might be just enough yogi to last for a week. I don't know. We'll find out. Thanks, guys. Take care.